Mine came out positive. My sister, on the other hand, wasn't so lucky.
But it really sounds like it wasn't really about the age gap for your and your sisters. Like not really getting along too much. It was more about her issues. How did that make you feel, like with your mom accusing you and just knowing that your sister is going behind all of your backs?
Well, with what was going on, I was really angry with my mom because she didn't believe me. But after I, had mentioned to my mom that it was her, at first I felt like a rat because I already didn't have a good relationship with my sister, and now when she even did acknowledge me, she just yelled. And then after I felt like a rat, I got really angry with myself, and I hated myself because I felt bad, and I felt like I was a bad sister, and I'd broken some type of sister code. And then I started going to these meetings, and they started helping me figure out how to get myself healthy again. But it was hard. I was having some problems with my own health, and I was in and out of the hospital.
I feel like you projected your feelings toward your sister onto yourself. You were so stressed you actually even became physically ill. Tell me more about how you decided to cope with those feelings.
Well, I had to start going to these meetings. They really helped a lot, but the stress, I started having panic attacks, and one day when my parents were fighting over my sister, they hadn't realized that I had gone missing, and they were actually looking for me, and I had actually climbed into my closet, and I was hyperventilating, so we have to keep those brown paper bags in my house because I have panic attacks, and I freeze up, and it gets bad, but I've kind of grown up with this since I've been 17, It's almost been 5 years now.
Have you ever sat down with your sister and just told her how much her actions and her choices have affected you and changed your life?
Yeah, she never wants to hear it.
Do you think maybe she's resistant to you opening up to her because of all the hostility and tension? Has anything really changed much since all this happened over the last 5 years?
Well, she could feel like she's being attacked, and I just really want her to know how I feel. But over the years, it got a little better. She moved out. That's when it started to actually get better. But it was only after aggravation after aggravation and, fight over fight and battle over battle about, her actually going out and getting some type of help. But she finally found a methadone program, and, after she had started to get herself clean and, help herself, my parents let her move in.
Can you tell me a little more about these battles?
Mostly about my parents saying, you need help, you need help, you need help, and my sister arguing about, she doesn't need help, and then, my parents saying, all the stress is making your sister sick, and it's been hard. Definitely something I never wanted to go through. But, she moved back in, and we all had to sit down and talk as a family, and we decided that, it'd be best if we could keep a watchful eye on her. But after she moved back in, things started almost getting back to semi-functional. And
how did things work out with her program?
Well, she started, she was doing really good, and she was, dosing down each, couple weeks, which was, good, which meant that she was doing something good. But then the week before she was supposed to, go down to the last milligram, she decided she wanted to quit, and which meant withdrawal, and she'd get more angry, and irritable and just wasn't going to be okay in my book. So, I mean, she started dating somebody also, which is a big recovery no-no. And, so I sat her down one day and I said, this isn't the right steps. You're not supposed to be doing this. It's not going to end successfully. And she just didn't want to hear it. So, nothing I say goes to heart. I stopped putting my effort out.
Sounds like you really love your sister and you want what's best for her, but you stop trying because it hurts too much not to be listened to.
It's exactly how I feel.
Well, we're almost about done for today, but can you tell me more about your relationship now with her? Has it made any improvements?
Well, we really don't talk anymore. She moved out again. She's living with a boyfriend, and he calls himself an ex-heroin addict, but once an addict, always an addict, and he also has been diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia, which is not good. Now she's living in a worse dysfunctional situation in her own apartment where she can try and fix him. Good luck with that. Lost cause. She's supposedly clean, which I have no idea if it's true or not, because I don't even get to see her anymore, and I don't even really talk to her. And she only calls when she needs something, which recently has been money, but I'm not going to give it to her because I've spent enough years enabling her. But my parents, they just refuse to talk to her because, it only ends up in a fight, with the other one who didn't talk to her, and holidays are coming up, and now they're fighting more because my father, he recently mentioned, are we going to let Heather come to Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner? And, I still love her, and, she's my sister, and I want her there, but I don't want to cause more stress around the holidays.
I know you love her, but your past relationship must make it difficult, especially with these holidays coming around. How are you going to deal with it?
Yeah, I mean, it is really hard to love somebody that you don't even like, but I really just want to see our family as one again. I mean, I guess I can talk to them.
Well, this session we really got into your relationships with your mom and your sister. Maybe next time we can get more in with your dad and all of that tension. I would really like to meet again and see how the process is going, and maybe bring in both your parents to see how they feel about inviting her in for the holidays. I feel we could really make some progress bringing your sister in as well later on, though, in your sessions, and actually get you to try and tell her how you feel about her and her disease, and maybe take a different tactic to letting her know. But I want you to think of other ways that you can tell her and release all those pent-up emotions.
Thank you so much. It's been so nice to actually be able to talk to somebody who doesn't know my family, or, who's going to judge me for what's going on. I really do look forward to coming back and talking to you again, and maybe bringing my parents in to see where they stand, and possibly inviting her for the holidays. Thanks.
You're welcome. Have a good weekend.
You too.